Keyshawn Johnson said on NFL Live yesterday something that I think we were maybe pondering about a few weeks ago. Sean Payton, listen, he ain't going to fuck around with quarterback not playing good. Keyshawn Johnson brought that to light, and we believe it to be true. Sean Payton, the only reason why he said, not the only reason, the biggest reason why he picked the Denver Broncos, obviously they have the richest owner in the sport, but also he said ownership, GM, head coach aligned. Everything that Sean Payton would potentially need or want to have success, they would basically give it to him. He has signed the most recent deal there. I know Russell Wilson has signed a big deal. They bring Sean Payton in after Russell Wilson has signed his big deal. Sean Payton was not there when they signed Russell Wilson. Sean Payton wants to have success with Russell Wilson, but Sean Payton, if Russell Wilson stinks, which there were some games last year where...
Many games.
Was it him? Was it the offense? Was it a head coach? Was it the situation? Yeah. We have no idea what it was. You think Sean Payton would be able to pull the trigger and say, you know what, Russ? Here's a clipboard. We have a guy now on the field that can throw and make completions because that's literally what my offense is. I need the quarterback to complete the right passes in a bucket, pretty much. Yep. You think Sean Payton would be able to do that like what Keyshawn Johnson said yesterday on NFL Live?
Yeah, I think if anybody, any head coach in the league has the juice to do that, to sit Russell Wilson down, it would be Sean Payton. But I don't know. There would have to be, 10 weeks of poor play in a row to them even think about replacing him. Also, who do you put in? And then what's his contract look like? Can they even sit this guy?
What do you think? I'm sure they could. They would have to pay him a lot of money. I mean, it would be quite a stand. But to your point, be who you can afford to be. Sean Payton's one of the only people I think that people would be like, yeah, that's what Sean Payton thinks.
Russ is going to be better. No matter what, he's going to be better this year than last year. But how much?
You think Hackett sucks? Okay, got it.
Wow. I'm saying Russ obviously did not like that system or didn't like something going on.
It was terrible.
What do you think about Russell Wilson's performance last year, and then with Sean Payton, how he'll do?
Well, the performance, was it less ride or less roll?
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
That was so sweet. So sweet.
Yeah, it was kind of like they didn't ride anywhere. Awesome. They got in a car.
Yeah, the ride wasn't good.
Electric car.
Did you tell him that, Pat?
Yeah, I told him. I said live last year that he played like shit. Mm-hmm. He did.
Oh, I meant did you give him that tagline, the Let's Ride?
Oh no, I ain't giving him that tagline, but that was $1 billion tagline. He said, Let's ride.
Genius. Boom.
Hey, but
fucking hey, dude.
What is it now? Buck him up? What is it now?
This is an artifact now. Buck you, I believe, or buck up.
Buck 'em.
I believe.
Buck 'em.
I got sent this from the Broncos. Like, big shout out to the Broncos. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Yeah.
With that being said, this took over the internet. For good reasons, of course.
Yeah, of course.
For good, positive reasons, not mockery reasons
Colleges started to do it.
I'm quite sure they ain't saying that shit this year with Sean Payton.
No, he said buck 'em, I think.
Buck 'em.
Yeah, actually, I believe he said buck 'em, and he said, hey, pass the bucking ball. Like he was using buck as fuck.
Yeah.
Very clearly, and I enjoyed it. But the hype around this was because everybody thought Russell Wilson and the Broncos were going to be great. Remember, that roster was supposed to win a Super Bowl if they just got a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. They go get a good quarterback. A quarterback who has never won an MVP, right? That was the topic of conversation every single time he played football.
Never had a first-place vote, right? Isn't that what his whole thing?
Yeah, like that was a big story, but he was a good player, everybody assumed. And then he goes to Denver. That was abysmal.
It was terrible.
It was terrible to watch.
He stunk.
Was it Hackett, you think? Was it the offense? Will he be able to learn a brand new offense yet again? Third one in 3 years? Like, there's so many different questions that go into it, but we all assume Sean Payton will be able to get the best out of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, Hackett was definitely part of it, but like Russ did not look the same last year. We talked so many times on either Mondays or Tuesdays or, the following day after they played, and like you just looked at several of his throws. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, he has not done this shit before. We always talked about how pretty his deep ball was when he was in Seattle.
From the moon.
Yeah, moon ball right into a bucket. And then, like, it was the Colts game where, there's a terrible score. They drive down, they get into the red zone, they have a chance to put it away, and he goes right at Stephon Gilmore 2 times in a row. Second time, Gilmore picks him off. It's just, like, little shit like that just made no sense, and maybe Hackett was a huge part of that.
Hey, those moon balls, a problem for a corner? And why do you think we didn't see it? That takes a lot of arm strength, does it not?
Yeah, but he was on the motion a lot when he was in Seattle. I mean, on the move a lot in Seattle. You can see this past year he was throwing from the pocket a lot.
What does that do to you guys?
Well, certain quarterbers don't do good
short
just
too.
Sitting in the pocket. Shit, he only my height.
What's that?
5'10", maybe.
Oh, okay.
6 feet. No, I'm just 5'10", 5'11", okay?
Yeah, 5'12".
It's hard for me to see over the line. These guys are 6'6", 6'5", 6'1", 6'2". So I like to do play action, get out on the outside of the pocket. That way I can throw the big moon ball, which is play action, No, 9 times out of 10, if that ball open, the DB is looking in the backfield or got sucked up on the play.
Oh, can't be getting sucked up.
It happens
Can't be getting
sometimes.
sucked up, dude. Huh? Keep it tight.
That's right.
Did Russ have any surgeries or anything in the offseason? Was he dinged up that we don't
Shoulder?
know about?
He's
Swag, I think he.
Yeah. Swag infusion.
lose some
Yeah, I
weight.
think he did have a little bit of a swag
That's good.
infusion.
I think he lost some weight. He's at OTAs. He's showing up, unlike some guys.
He was the first one there, actually, I read.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
obviously.
that. He had a moxie shake, didn't he? Like some
Yeah.
people were
Yep.
drinking milkshakes.
Yep.
And he didn't
What?
have his Broncos jersey. He had his college jersey on.
And he came out of that fucking monster truck
Yeah.
that he
right.
drove to training camp. So, yeah, he had some surgeries, I guess, depending upon what you're talking about. I don't know if he had any injuries. He did add a lot to his game. The good man brand came around.
That's right.
But Team 3's gone, right? In Denver, they're not allowed in the facility. Is that correct?
Team 3 might be gone, but 3
The other surgery, no office.
is always going to be
He
there.
ain't going anywhere.
Yes. What a truck.
Nice truck.
What
Is it
is-
electric?
Pac-Man, just real quick. I don't think
it
that's
electric?
electric. I don't think that's electric.
Look at that antenna on the back. What is that?
That thing
for
goes
the satellite.
underwater, bro. That's for service. If you're out there in the middle of nowhere, pal, you're
Log in the
camping in
huddle.
that thing.
You can go in 6 feet of water. That's why his exhaust is up top.
Hell yeah. Little snorkel on that thing.
Yeah, that's so he can look up plays, any type of film he wants. That's why the antenna.
So it's actually, that antenna is actually a flat screen that pops up and spins in front of the car while he's driving.
Yep.
So that there's no wasted time watching film.
Genius.
Just a movie theater right in front of him while he's driving home. Pac, have you ever seen somebody wear their own jersey to training camp?
Never in my life.
Man, me neither. That was my biggest takeaway.
New team. He's excited, though. New
Bro,
colors, new team.
Would you wear your jersey to training
Yeah,
camp?
for sure.
AJ?
AJ did.
I did it every year. Yeah, they just never took my picture. I wish they would have. I was yelling at them to do it, but they didn't.
Why not? They didn't want to waste any fucking
you were-
frames on you, pal?
You wore your practice jerseys every day.
No, it's game
no,
jersey. Game jersey.
Skin tight. You know how game jerseys look so good with no pads on, just real tight and long? Yeah, I wore that.
And then
Eye black, right?
Kevin,
I started putting eye black on after the third or fourth year. I wouldn't get any attention for it.
so
yeah.
Kevin Green would do the same thing. He'd wear like his Steeler. You guys, he'd be like, "Hey, did a J, brother."
He would.
Yeah, he would. do-
KG would. KG had the biggest, this chopper with the huge handlebars. Oh, man. That dude is the man. I'm so upset he's gone.
I do think we should clarify that AJ is talking out of his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Whenever he says that he would
What do you
wear,
mean?
because
Oh, yeah. My bad. So I don't know if you took me serious.
Yeah, it might be somebody first time watching the show, AJ.
yeah, literally.
Great
Good call,
point
Pac.
you got there.
Who's
Great
there?
point, Pac-Man. I did not wear my jersey to training camp, but if I somehow could go back in time, maybe I would.
Yeah, well, I think that was my first thing that like things were up with Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson is a movie character.
It's the first thing. It's the very first thing you thought, like, oh, this is a little bit unique.
Yeah, I thought the season was fucked that day. Put that picture back up. As soon as I seen it, I'm like, well, that's a problem. I've never seen a human
Yeah,
that has had success in the NFL wear their own jersey to training camp.
he had that made too. It have no Nike sign on
Yeah,
it.
it's Team 3. Hey, I fucking love him.
Yeah.
I want him to get back to being good.
Yep.
Russell Wilson is his own entity. He's obviously a great story. 4th rounder, I think, right?
Third.
3rd rounder up in there to becoming a superstar. He gets paid finally because remember he had a 3rd round contract and then does it all and he's laying in bed with Sierra.
Yep.
With the chains and $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, got all in there. So hopefully he'll be able to figure it out. Sean Payton seems like the guy to be able to get it done. Russell Wilson's at OTAs before anybody else. He's going to learn the offense. They're going to be a whole new team.
He did have knee surgery this offseason.
Oh, yeah, clean it up, right?
Yeah,
Okay. How much, obviously they're going to be better. We all love Sean Payton. They have to play the AFC East this year. Their division is very, very good now. Jimmy G's on the Raiders. What is actual success for the Broncos? 8-9? Because they're not beating the Chiefs twice.
I think people will be pissed if they don't go at least 10.
They need to make the
7.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Have to make playoffs.
Oh, man, I don't know.
You put the Raiders as contenders because Jimmy G went there?
No, I think they're better, though.
Then
Yeah.
And the
What are you
Broncos.
saying? What are you saying? Hold on. I mean, that was certainly a comment that warrants a little conversation.
I'm just saying, I think Denver get way better than the Raiders fucking get by bringing Sean Payton than the Raiders fucking bringing Jimmy G.
So you don't like Jimmy G?
I'm saying Jimmy G is a guy, he don't, I don't think he make the offense better.
I think he can execute the offense, though, is what Josh McDaniels will say. Now,
Yeah, but does that make them better?
well, actually, that's a great question because after games, you'll hear people say, we just didn't execute, we didn't execute. That's an excuse by coaches to say, game plan was solid. Okay? Players fucked.
Their fault. their fault. It's their fault.
Players fucked up. Boom, it was them. Jimmy G, I feel like, will execute game plan. Like, that is what he is known for almost. So I think, like, the execution thing can't really be the question with Jimmy G. I feel like he's going to put people in the right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, is that team, is Josh McDaniels' offense, is that roster good enough to go on a win? I think that is certainly a question.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because, like, their defense has never been as good as the defense as Jimmy G has had.
Oh, no, here we go. It's like what the Saints did with Pac-Man here.
Yeah.
You got Max Crosby over there.
Oh, yeah. No, they have a great – Max Crosby and Chandler Jones are great.
Good line.
But they don't have a 9
He had all,
offense.
After that.
Let's say all the twos that he had in San Francisco, though. Like, he don't have more twos with the Raiders than he had in San Francisco.
Agreed.
Completely
We
agree.
Come on.
And he couldn't win it there.
And I'm not saying, the Raiders are the biggest competitor with the Broncos, but they're not better than the Chargers and the Chiefs. And Sean Payton coming in is going to help a lot. But was Russell Wilson bad at, because he didn't know the plays, or were all his deep balls deep or short? Or was he missing throws that he usually made?
No, he stunk.
Yeah, that was the bigger thing than him not
I thought
like
he
knowing.
potentially did ayahuasca and forgot how to play
If
football.
Stein comes in, though,
Didn't we all think that? Didn't we all think that a little bit?